Did you know that thousands of Californians have retired in luxury on the beach in San Felipe, Baja California? Did you know that the future of green technology is happening now on the beach in Baja California? That you can own a beautiful sea view home for a fraction of what it would cost in the US? Did you know that the cost of living is 1/4 the cost of what it is here? Discover Rancho Costa Verde, an amazing cutting-edge green community on the beach at prices you haven't seen in your lifetime. Not a lease, not a timeshare, full ownership home sites with 180-degree sea views starting at only $22,500, with terms and financing that make it affordable for almost anyone. To receive additional information and learn how you can visit the property, call 1-800-211-7400. 1-800-211-7400.
Hey, I think I'm on. Well, hi there. Welcome to another fun adventure with Patti Bee, Crafting with Patti Bee. I'm Patti Bee. And welcome to all the repeat people who are watching and to anyone who's watching live. Today we're going to do something that might be good for Mother's Day, depending. This is a paper butterfly with a magnet on the back that I have on my refrigerator. So that's what we're going to make today. These are pretty simple. They have a lot of steps to them, but they're pretty simple. You might have most of these ingredients already. So I'm going to show you how to do it two ways. One is using the scoreboard to make the folds. And another way is to use a ruler if you don't have a scoreboard. So,
did you mean to say supplies?
On what?
Did you mean to say supplies?
Yeah, I did. You know, I told Tom and Meg that I thought I was maybe getting dementia. And
No,
they said, no, don't worry about it, Mom, because you've always been like that. I think I was relieved.
Oh
Not sure. I know, right?
No. Supplies. I thought I'll help you out.
Thank you, honey. I appreciate that so much. It's a little, nerve-wracking because, of course, I'm doing this on my phone, and so I got to really, lean in to see what it says to know if I'm on, whatever. But anyway, hi.
Hi, everybody. Okay. Thanks for watching.
So before I get started, I want to say thank you to my friend Mary. We made these butterflies, I think last year in our Art Buddies group. And so she was gracious enough to give me all her supplies because I've been cleaning out my classroom and rearranging, and I don't know where anything is anymore. So thank you, Mary. I appreciate you. Love you. Okay. So I have here some patterns. And if anybody wants a copy of these patterns, you can send me a message and I'll figure out how to get them to you. But they're pretty basic. It kind of looks like a Yoda face. Wait, here. Looks like a Yoda face with the ears on the sides. Doesn't have to be exact. It can be a little different. But and you can certainly, figure out your own patterns too of what might make a fancy butterfly. It doesn't have to be this pattern. But so this is the one I have. And this this is the piece of paper you need, a size this size, and you want a pretty paper. You don't want cardstock or something that's thick. You want a very thin paper because it's so much easier to fold, and the weight is better for the magnet to hold it onto the refrigerator. So I have here a couple of pieces of paper, and you'll notice that there's a pattern on this. What I'm looking for is not the pattern, I'm looking for the colors. So you want to have two different colors that go together. So that's the blue that I picked out. Even though the patterns don't match, the colors will, and that's great. And then I have some pink paper. That one's kind of a peach and a yellow. It's a peachy rose. So these two would go together, make a cute butterfly. You could do this to any color that would match Mom's kitchen or your kitchen, or your camper, whatever. So this is a lighter one, and I thought this one would kind of match with this. And this one goes together really well with this one. And then there's this one that you could match with the other paper. So lots and lots of options, and use the paper that you have in stock. And like I said, don't worry about the pattern. This butterfly was made out of a polka dot piece of paper. And then we lined it with a magic marker, Sharpie. Let me move these out of the way. So the other thing that you're going to need is, to make this body, you're going to need some beads. And this is like a longer one and then a short one. So what I have here is some beads. Again, from my friend Mary's stash. So I'm going to look to see what's going to go well with these guys, and what's going to show up. And I think that one might be cute. I think I might like this one. Go with that. So one of the places that you can get beads from is from old necklaces. If you peruse the big, sale, 70% off or whatever, this would make, a lot of different things, bracelets, earrings, whatever. And so really what you're looking for is this longer bead, and then it would have a shorter bead for the head. Okay, so dig in here and see what we have for a head. I'm looking for something smaller, and I think I like this one. So I'm just going to cut that off. Get one of those beads. Okay, so now I've got two beads. Put them up here so you can see them. The next thing I'm going to have to find is a piece of wire. So this is like a copper colored wire. I don't know the exact width, depth, whatever, the exact size. But it's not too thin and not too thick. That makes sense?
Thickness?
Yeah, thickness. Thanks, honey.
I was going to say,
Don't let anybody tell you that getting old is easy. It's an adventure.
When I
So,
was a kid, you remember you had those curtains that were all brown beads. I remember going through those curtains of beads.
oh yeah. Oh wow. That was in the 70s, honey.
Yes, I remember those.
Yeah,
What
that
happened?
was a long time ago.
Did you save them? You should have saved them.
I should have saved them, right? Who
They'd be
knew?
vintage now.
Yeah. So what I did was I cut a piece 11 inches long.
I'm thinking a mom joke would be to bead or not to bead.
Yep. So what you want to do with your wire when you cut it at 11 inches long, you want to find the middle. So what I do is I hold the two ends together, the open ends, and then I just kind of squeeze it a little bit so I have a middle. So that's ready. And then you're going to want a glue gun or some E6000, something kind of strong to hold the magnet and to help secure uh, the body of the butterfly and the head onto it. Okay, so
So the wire's going to be the antennas.
well, the wire is going to both um, hold the beads onto the butterfly, keep the
Oh,
butterfly together, and then it
okay.
comes out and becomes the antennas.
Oh, how cute. Okay, nice. Very good.
You can see that.
Yeah,
Yeah, she had one
that
here
makes
that was
sense.
half done, but anyway, okay, so I've got my two papers. Um, you can use a paper cutter to get the size you want. You can use a
Mom's favorite
ruler,
die cutter. What do you call that thing?
the paper cutter.
Yeah, that's your favorite one. What do you
It's
call
my
it?
absolute favorite one. Yeah, yeah. That and the big guillotine for cutting, really big paper, thick
Oh,
papers,
yeah.
like cardboard and stuff like that. You can use this one for cardboard, but you have to turn it over to cut it on both
Oh,
sides to get through the thickness. This blade is only so thick, and
right.
yeah, and they're expensive. Whereas the guillotine, it almost self sharpens itself. I've never had to sharpen it all the years I've had it. So wire cutters to cut your wire. If you have needle nose pliers, that'll help to just turn that uh, antenna of the butterfly. Magnets. This is all stuff you can find at a hobby shop, Hobby Lobby, or Michael's, or probably even Joann's fabric. Okay, so what else? A Sharpie, some scissors, and I think that's it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to decide which part of this paper is going to be the top of my butterfly and which is going to be the bottom. So I think I'm going to use this as the top. I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to cut out a 5 1/4 by 5 1/4 square. Okay. All right, make sure I got my paper in where I want the colors to come out. There we go. So 5 1/4. You could do 5 1/2 if you're more comfortable with that. 5 1/4. 5 1/4. And this is for the large butterfly. There's also a small butterfly. Now I have this piece of paper cut to the size that I want. And I'm going to cut the second piece of paper the same size. 5 1/4. 5 1/4. And like I said, you could do 5 1/2 if you want a little bit more space. Not a problem. Okay, so let's put that out of the way. So now what I want to do is I'm going to turn my paper over. And let me put what it is down here so you can see better. Got my instructions. Oh, I have 2 pieces here. So what I want to do is, this is the bottom. I want to take this piece, the piece that looks like Yoda. And it's just going to fit right into this piece of paper. So what I'm going to do is trace it. And you can see how close this is to the edges, which is why I said you could, you can do it a little bit bigger if you feel more comfortable, because it's pretty close. Can you see that? Okay. So what I'm going to do is, no, I'm not going to cut that. What am I thinking? I'm not thinking. That's what's going on. I got to do the other piece with the large oval. And the reason I'm not going to cut it out yet is because if I leave it whole, it's going to be easier to crease. So if you're going to use a ruler, right, you're going to do this from the point to the point, right? So the bottom of my ruler is going on point to point. And you're doing this on the back of the paper, so you can do a line. And then what you want to do, you're going to have a diagonal, is space them 1/4 of an inch intervals. So I'm just going to mark every 1/4 of an inch. On both sides. 1/4. So now I have 1/4 of an inch on both sides of that line. And I'm going to draw a line parallel to the first line that we drew. So at that mark, the first mark, go to the second one. And like I always say, art is not perfect. You don't have to be perfect. So if it's not perfect, don't worry about it. It's just paper. And paper is kind of pliable. You can wiggle it around if you need to. Okay. So you would do this on both sides of that line. We can need another one. So you can continue and do that on the other side of the line, following the 1/4 inch marks that you did, and you will get that shape filled in where you're going to fold. We're not going to fold yet. So I'm going to get my scoreboard, and this is the tricky part. If you're using a scoreboard, you want to get it lined up so that when you put those lines in, Um, you don't want to squeeze too hard because this can go through the paper. Remember, this paper is thin. So what we're going to do after this is we're just going to make an accordion fold. My folds are coming out a little bit different, but that's okay. I can figure it. I just wanted to make sure that, you know, a lot of people don't have these paper scoreboard, and, you know, you can accordion fold your butterfly that way. All right, let's get this back. Now I'm going to do the other side where there's no marks. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for the quarter inches up here on my scoreboard. Boy, I can smell my glue gun going. I think you'll find that this is just easier to do before you cut it out. So now I'm ready to cut this out. You know, when I used to teach children how to use scissors, I was always amused by how they would open their tongue, you know, stick their tongue out as they were working, concentrating, that tongue comes out. Very cute. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing with this one. So I'm going to put this so that trying to get a straight line going from there. So this is really the trickiest part. Is figuring out where these quarter inches are. But your board has these markings, so that makes it easier. You don't have to do the whole thing. You just have to make sure you have the creases on the piece that you're going to cut out. That could save you a little bit of time. That was there. Okay.
Yeah, and I was going to say, if anyone has questions or crafting tips that you'd like to share or questions, feel free to put it in the comments, and Patti will get back to you as soon as she can in the comments.
Yeah. Hopefully, I'll be able to do that live, and I'll be able to do that online. So this is the most tedious part. Okay. I don't know if you can see that, but I didn't even bother scoring this side because I'm going to cut that part off. Okay. We're done with that. And we can cut this one out. Doesn't look like it's going to be a butterfly, does it? Kind of odd shaped for a butterfly, but once you fold it up, it'll turn into both an upper wing and a bottom wing. Okay. Yeah. So now I can start folding. And you fold one way and then the other. So it's kind of like an accordion, you know, a pleat. And you can see how those score lines just really make it so much easier. Because you know right where it is. If you just follow the score, you can, you know, the ones that I wrote with the pen. I mean, you can follow those, but it's just a little more difficult. Come on. I didn't want to rip the paper, so I wasn't as strong as I could have been. That's all right. Like I said, this does not have to be perfect. Even though butterflies are perfect. Usually they're perfect. Well, I'm getting there.
I just got another one of those dumb emails that says that they've gained access to my email and that they've been watching everything I do and that I have to pay them $2,500 in Bitcoin. Otherwise, and it says that I've been looking at porn channels, and no, I have not. Like, that's how I know it's a lie. But could you imagine the people that actually do look at those channels and they believe this?
Crazy.
Such a hacker.
Yeah, I know. You know, they keep coming up with better and better scams, and it's really hard for old people or people who you know, have some kind of disability, mental disability, to deal with them. They just get so scared. I've heard so many horror stories of people who've been milked out of everything.
Well, and a lot of people, like, I don't even have Bitcoin, so it's like, you're SOL, buddy. Sorry. You get the wrong dude here. I don't have Bitcoin. I don't even have money in my account, you jerks.
So here's what I'm doing. I'm using the marker, which is a fairly wide one with a chisel tip. It doesn't say what size, but it's this one. And I'm just going to go around the edges of this. I've got a piece of paper underneath it. So I suppose you could do this step before you fold it. And maybe I'll try that with the next one. But this will go right back into an accordion when I do it. Okay. So what you end up with is something like this. It's going to fold back. up into its accordion. No problem. And there you have the bottom wing. Okay? Let's put that aside. And let's do the top wing.
Ah.
Let's put the top on this first. So when I fold it, I want to make sure, I want to start so that the pattern part of the paper is going to show. So I start with that one as going down, which they call that's a mountain fold, because it looks like an upside down, it looks like a mountain or an upside down V. And then you just keep going. This paper was a little bit thicker. You could use wrapping paper. Would work wonderfully. Yeah. You could even use your kids' drawings. Wouldn't that be fun? This one got a little off because okay. So now we have this one. Oh, I forgot to do the before I folded it, but that's all right. You can do it now. Worked on the other one. All right.
I bet you could even put some glue on the edges with like some glitter or something.
You could probably, yeah.
Well, you know what we tried to do. Remember I told you I bought that. I don't know if I told you I bought that edible grass.
Oh yeah.
And we tried to make the Easter cupcakes where it looks like a little nest.
Uh-huh.
You put the grass on the frosting, and then you put little jelly beans in the nest in the fake grass, in the edible grass. But yeah, it did not come out like that. Let me tell you. It looked like someone's weed whacker went AWOL or something. It did not look good at all. I tried. I don't have your skills, but we tried.
Memories are the best. Memories are often the ones that are a little nutty. That didn't come out the way you thought they would.
We just Coralie and I just agreed that it just wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to look like the pictures.
It wasn't going to look like the pictures?
No. We tried.
Okay. So I have my two pieces all folded up, right? And you want to make sure that when this side is down, this little curvy part on the bottom. Oh, sorry. That was the wrong way. This little curvy part on the bottom, you want that down, right? And then the top, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to put these two together. As best I can. I'm just pinching them together like that. And I'm just going to put a little piece of glue in there. Let's just secure it for a minute until I get the wires on. without burning my fingers. Okay, so that's just gonna keep it in place a little bit. And I'm gonna keep this folded up. So now I'm gonna take my piece of wire and I'm gonna place that that middle piece right over the middle. So it's like this, right? And then I'm going to twist it, get it as tight as I can to hold that together, right? And I'm going to bring it around to the front so that the two pieces are sticking straight up. Can you see that? Anyway, okay. So we have the top and we have the bottom. And we have this is going to become the body. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bead and I'm going to push it down a little bit. I'm going to push the bead and the wire down a little bit so that the middle of this long bead is resting on the paper, not on the top, not up above it, but right in the middle of the papers that are now together. Does that make sense? And I'm going to glue that in. Like I said, you can use something like E6000. That's a pretty, good glue. Or Gorilla Glue. I have it on high. Okay. And then we're going to put the head on. I hope we're going to put the head on. I might have to use a different bead. Okay. Not the white one, the hole isn't big enough. You can make the hole big enough if you want. What do we have here? Oh. You know what? I think this one will look good. Thanks, Mary. And this one has a bigger hole. Okay. Plan B. Much easier. So. I've got it on those two wires. And what I'm going to do is separate them. And I'm just going to give them a little twist. Starting to look like a butterfly. And then you can start spreading the wings.
Nice. And then you just need the magnet, and then you gotta. Did you curl the antenna?
Huh?
Did you curl the antennas yet?
Not yet.
Oh.
So what I want to do,
my
they're
bottlenose
very large, these antennas. So I want them to be the same size. So you go up about
and trim them.
Here.
Oh, okay.
Like, about that far up. And you cut them off so that they're the same size. And then, you could even use something like a pen to anything that's round that you can turn those in with. Needle nose pliers would work. You have those in your stash. Okay. Now I'm going to pull this out, open it up more. It's open without ripping it. Put it together. Open it up. How's it looking? Kind of cute, right?
Yeah, I like the colors.
And you can see why, you just want colors that match, because you really don't see the pattern that much when it's all folded up. It's really about the colors. So it's a good way to use a paper that you like the color, but you don't like the pattern.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try putting this magnet on there. Make sure I got the right side on. And there you go. Got some glue string, get those off. So this is another one that I had. And you can see the difference in the size and the shape. This one has much bigger upper wings and smaller bottom. And if you look at it, it's a funny, like an oval with a divot, like, you know what I mean, on each end. So it's going to be like this. It's going to be an oval. It's going to be an oval like that. So that when you put in the lines and you fold it up, like, you put the lines in and then you fold it all up, what you'll get is this bottom piece here. See how it kind of just goes in a little bit and comes out?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then when you squish it all up into the middle, it doesn't look like an oval. It looks like, wings. So you can practice with different designs and sizes. The hardest thing to find to do these is the beads. Believe it or not, these oval shaped beads are the most difficult to find. So that's why, old necklaces, things that are, cheap that you might not wear, but might be the right colors to make the body of the butterfly, are a good source. I've looked a lot of times.
That doesn't mean that we don't want any kids to go cutting up their mom's necklace without make sure you ask your mom first.
Good point, Stan. Good point.
Any children watching?
And for the elderly people, don't go taking your kids' jewelry and cutting it up for your, giving them a Mother's Day gift. They won't like that.
Get permission first.
Get permission first. Where are we on time, hon?
We are at 45 minutes exactly.
Great. Okay. So I was at the
Did you put the magnet?
I put the magnet on it.
Okay.
I glued it on.
Oh, there it is. Okay, wow.
And so it'll stick.
Very cute.
Isn't that cute?
Mm-hmm.
And you could probably, you're talking about a 5 1/4 or 5 1/2 inch by 5 1/2 inch piece of paper. In two different pieces of paper, some beads and some wire. Really, the marker around the edges really looks nice,
Yeah.
You probably could, like now, you could probably put some glue and then dip it into some glitter if you want. I try to get away from the glitter because that stuff multiplies and it doesn't go away. You think you got it all, but you don't. It's like Christmas tree needles. You could vacuum till the cows come home, which is
I
usually
do.
at milking time, and they're there. You move a piece of furniture, and they're there. Doesn't matter what room it was in. There they are. Move your stove or refrigerator. How'd they get over there? I don't know, but they do. Just one of those mysteries of life,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so next time I went to the dollar store and I found these little wands for graduation.
Oh, cute.
And I thought that would make a nice card,
Yeah.
right? So I thought, next show is going to be the beginning of June, so we'll make some graduation cards,
Yeah, very good. Very clever.
right? I'm always looking for stuff. And I found these tall candle.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found stickers. These are rub-on. They might be a little more difficult than regular stickers, but you could glue anything onto here. You could glue jewels. You could glue wooden, like they had these little wooden turtles and seahorses that were about that big. That would look cute. This piece of wrapping comes off. So, there we go. So you've got a regular candle without that on it to decorate. And, I buy these strips of bling jewels that come in a strand. And I can either, you can get them single ones, but I find I get a lot more use out of the strand. And then if I need a single one, I can cut it right in between. And that's fine. So anyway, you could put something like this around it.
Yeah.
To fancy it up. And this one has leaves. That would be pretty too. You're not into the sea. But any kind of stickers that they have. Let's try this up. Let's see. That one. My bone folder.
Your favorite.
My favorite. These tools are great. So I'm just rubbing this onto the candle. You're going to a barbecue or something. Okay, why does this not want to come on? Okay. It has a protective sheet on it. Try that again. So you could, this is a fun thing to bring.
Is that going to be a graduation candle?
No, this is just, it could be. If you had.
I think a lot of kids are doing homecoming this month.
Oh, yeah?
Do you know anybody graduating this year?
Do I know anybody that's graduating this year? I don't know. I know that graduation cards sell. graduation. Well, if you think about where I live and the age, the population, they're having, their grandkids are graduating. Or they're having babies, or okay. I don't know if you can see it that well, so maybe not the rub-on, but it's kind of pretty. You could just keep going and put those all around it. Put some bling up at the top, or some ribbon. Fun to it, it's $1.25. The other thing you can do with these is if you have a nice, a nicer container, that would make a good container for a candle, like a teacup, or there's just all these fancy little jars and stuff. You can put this into some simmering water, hot simmering, not boiling, but simmering. And eventually it'll melt. And then you can, take the wick out, put it into the other container, say it's a coffee cup or a bell jar, or, something a little different than this. Or you could even, smaller. And then you can pour this in and get a candle in a fancier container. You can find those at thrift shops or yard sales, or maybe you even have something laying around that you could use that with. So anyway, yeah, candles. And again, be careful who you give them to, because, they're going to light them on fire, and candles can be dangerous. So next month we're gonna make graduation cards and maybe something else. If you go to the dollar store now, you can get these. They have 4th of July out. They have graduation out. They have summer out. And I think that's it. Yeah. Pretty much that's it. But remember, they go fast. Like, you might not think July is going to disappear, but it will. So I always look for things that are going to not too thick that I can mail to make a card out of. And I look for things that I can, repurpose, such as, that candle, to make other more personalized things. And
yeah,
and if you go and you right after the holidays, if you go and you go their cards, they usually have them 2 for. And I look for cards that have things on them. Oh, I can do this without falling over.
Oh, we're running. We got 6. We got
6 minutes.
4. Yeah, we got less than 5. Less than 5. Yeah, let's do
Okay.
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
So do you remember we made this I made 2 cards out of 1 card by cutting out these little, and I made it my own.
Cute.
So, look for the words for an occasion that you want to make. And think outside the box. So those are my Dollar Tree tips. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed this presentation. Was this a presentation? Demonstration?
It's an arts and crafts show. An episode. It's an episode.
It's an episode. Oh, I'm having an episode? Okay.
Episode number 5, and the lesson today is get your coffee first.
Get your coffee first. I had the guys here to service my regular service, my air conditioner and heat, and he smells the coffee. He was so happy. I gave him coffee, and I gave him a a bar, uh, and the other guy, he had his partner with him, and I gave him an iced tea and a bar. They were so happy. They were hungry, but they hadn't eaten yet.
Oh, yeah.
And it's hot. It's hot outside. It's like 80 something degrees. They're working out there, so that was nice. I enjoy making people's days a little bit better if I can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yes. Well, the other lesson is so if you're old enough to have coffee, that is, don't drink coffee if you're underage. You're not allowed to have caffeine. Um, Throwing out some
Yeah.
disclaimers, and then also we learned today don't cut up anyone's jewelry to make art projects or crafts unless you get their permission first.
Yeah. And you know what? If you're going to cut it out, do it inside a container.
Oh yes, it doesn't go all over the floor.
Oh, they like to roll far, far away. They're like those.
And then the cat, she thinks it's playtime and flicks them under the fridge.
If you don't step on them by mistake, ow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll actually meet up with the Christmas needles from the Christmas tree and cohabit. I'm pretty sure of it. I think that.
Yes. Well, okay. Thank you, Patti, for a wonderful episode today.
Yeah.
And
Oh, thanks everybody for watching. I so appreciate it. I have fun doing this, and thank you, San, for always helping to navigate.
And let's see, the next show will be June 7th. Friday, June 7th will be the next episode.
Oh, yes, the 7th. Yep.
So everybody stay tuned for that. And
yep. Graduation cards.
Graduation craft.
Think about the colors that your graduate might want. When you're picking out supplies, you can go to Hobby Lobby and every place and just see what they have in stickers and embellishments.
Okay? All right, thank you everybody. We'll see you next month.
Okay.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.